Hello Aries friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Aries November 2022 Astrology Horoscope forecast. If you want more free goodies to help you make the most of the starry possibilities, then look for the links underneath the notes of the video or podcast to reveal access to those goodies. This is for you if Aries is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Aries placement that you have. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Aries, so we'll say April 15th through the rest of the sign, or around 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, then I additionally suggest you listen to my Taurus report, as you very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. We have a lot to talk about, including Jupiter going direct and racing back towards Aries, which is a banner year for Aries, so we're kind of getting back to that whole storyline. We'll talk about that. We've got Mars retrograde in a very nice angle for Aries placements. We have a lot of high emotion on the Scorpio seas, and we'll talk about how that will affect you. We also have an eclipse, which is a big time, life-changing events occurring, and we have the movement of the planets into Sagittarius mid-month, which will change the whole astrological scene. So we'll talk about all these things as they relate to Aries placements. The first thing to know is that Jupiter has been in retrograde since July. So many things that had really revved up in our Aries experience, and I say our because I have Aries rising, you might notice that certain life-defining things may have been happening in the midst of happening in July, and then all of a sudden they just lost steam. And now they're going to either start back, or something its equivalent or greater is likely to start. Okay, so this is happening even though Mars is in retrograde. Certain things will be losing steam. You know, Mars is your ruler, so this is a very important topic. But Jupiter is a big gas giant that in many ways trumps the Mars retrograde energy. So regardless of the fact that certain things will be slowing down, there are going to be things that start activating in your life, and it's going to be very exciting. And this is going to start a very long, from now until the end of May, spree of Jupiter moving through every single degree of Aries. So between now and May, every single person in the Aries spectrum is going to get expansion, growth, their kiss, their conflict that leads to their awesomeness, their seed planting, their revitalization, their new rebirth, their, image boost. Everything is going to be happening between those times, November and May. So this is going to be a very fast spurt, and you will notice that a lot of things are going to start glowing and growing for you kind of all of a sudden after just coming from this dormant state. So if you're listening to this now, like September when I'm posting it, into October, because I post these early, you might be like, wow, that sounds really far away, because things are just kind of like, not doing that. The greater ambitions that you may have had, the greater, bigger picture things, those things have all kind of come to a screeching halt, partly in favor of dealing with these Scorpio energies, which are really especially strengthening in October, but you might start feeling them now, even in September, due to this Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle. So basically, a lot of things have been having to be put on the shelf of the things that you have wanted to do in favor of showing up for people close to you, or you're being supported by other people as you're going through things. Okay, so these are all possibilities. Okay, so big time for Aries friends, and this is a time we wait 12 years for, and it's very exciting. You've had a little hint into what this could look like earlier in the year, before things cooled off in July, but it's going to really be activated now. All right, so the next thing we have to talk about is Mars, our ruler, officially going retrograde just a couple of days before November. Okay, so we had a long prelude of its pre-shadow retrograde process that started at the beginning of September. You might have noticed, even in August, from Jupiter first going retrograde, then Mars energy starting up, maybe you're getting a little lazier, maybe you're getting a little less ambitious, maybe your follow-through is starting to fizzle out. And as I've been letting you know ahead of time, the universe is giving you permission to actually let this happen, and this can be purposeful. So the big problem comes when you don't let it cool off. Okay, Aries are particularly good at forcing through obstacles, making things happen, having an agenda, sticking to it and carrying it through. And sometimes that's well indicated. But when Mars is in its retrograde cycle, you'll get hot on certain things, like You know, you might be super excited about something, but then other things are cooling off. So the way to really navigate through Mars retrograde is to just let it show you what you're supposed to be focusing on. If you're trying to do something and you're getting the keynote of Mars retrograde, which is frustration, then you kind of know you need to back off of there, and either, if it's something you really have to do, then look for some creative solutions or do things a different way, experiments. If it's something you don't really have to do, you might just give yourself permission to not do it at all, or do it in short spurts, or, you know, a smaller scaled back version of it. And then you just watch to see what is lighting up for you. Now, this is a really nice spiritual principle at play that actually could be a little bit easier while Mars is in retrograde than it usually is. So it's something you can actually get to practice really well, which is looking for the things that Spirit really wants for you, okay? If there's something that is showing up and it's right in front of you, sometimes it would take, you know, most people, especially Aries people, maybe like, I'm not going to deal with that. I'll deal with this harder thing or this more challenging thing, or, you know, the thing that seems to be in most resistance. There's just this natural way to push through those types of things. But if you can just be super alert as to what kind of wants your energy, and if you align with that, then it just works out. You can transform how you manifest and transform how you co-create your experience. So this could be really good practice for you, and there are a lot of opportunities. You may be going back to publishing projects, questioning publishing projects, writing, teaching, you know, all kinds of Gemini things, siblings, relatives. There might be some things going on there. For a very long period of time, Mars is in the sign of Gemini. And for Aries, that also means the house of Gemini. So we always get double energy of these. You know, every transit is always like a double more intense experience for us. So from the summer of 2022, or winter for you all down under, through the spring of 2023, or fall for you all down under, we are going to have Mars kind of just stationed out in Gemini. So this could be a really prolific expression of writing or speaking time for you. But again, if you're trying to force something, it might not work. But one tactic that you can try to use, again, is this short spurt idea. Like if you have a goal that over this time you want to accomplish something, finish a project, maybe pick one day a month, or, you know, 20 minutes a day, or just something that is short and more, you know, that connects with, like, if you're distracted, like you do little short spurts, and then those short things, those small things will add up to something big by the end of the transit. So that's another way that you can be productive in this time if you have some kind of project that needs your attention. Okay, but in general, this is helping us to redo how we use our energy, and if we accept it, we can heal anger, heal resentment, you know, heal the tendency towards frustration, align our energies in ways that are much more helpful and not sabotaging. Now on that topic, if you haven't already watched my video, Change Your Life in 2 Minutes or Less, you might want to watch that, because there are some, I can't go into all the details of what I cover there, but there are some very important things, including a self-help exercise that you can do that can actually help you when you get off and get all whacked out, and then start losing your connection to your intuition, or losing your access to your prefrontal cortex, which is what happens when we're in fight, flight, or freeze, which Aries tends to be stuck in quite a bit. Not really the freeze as much, but more the fight or flight. It helps you to get out of that space, to help you get more into your center so that you can help make better decisions and you can attract less drama. In some ways, Aries likes drama, okay? My astrology teacher, Bridget, one of the first things she said when she was teaching me about charts, she has a ton of Aries in her chart, and she's like, I love drama. And she liked to be around me, partly because I'm just like dramatic by nature and, very animated and just kind of always have all kinds of things going on, and she would be amused by this and would really enjoy that. So Aries energies sometimes really likes that supercharged, highly, passionate energy to express that way and to observe and be around that energy. But if you're finding that the drama is wearing on you, that it's not productive, that it's not fun, then you might want to watch that Change Your Life in 2 Minutes or Less video, because it can really change your life and help you to have positive drama and a positive reframe of these types of things. Okay, so the next thing we have to talk about is that we do have a flood of water energy this month, and that is going to bring a lot of heavy emotion for us. October into November, a very emotional time. You may notice this as an Aries. I've been teaching you this over the years if you've been watching me for all this time, that as Aries people, if you notice that October and November, especially the first part of November, tend to be like really intense, and sometimes like really difficult things happen for us if you look back historically, over that time frame. It's because the sign of Scorpio through the personal planets and the house of Scorpio is being accentuated for us at this time. So, very deep shadow work, your partner might need support, or somebody close to you, people around you might be highly emotional, and you'll have to really show up for them. And, this is one of the things I'm talking about. Like, if someone is in front of you crying and you might be like, I'm not saying that you don't show up for the people in your life. I'm just saying that sometimes you have too much to do and you have to table things like that, or whatever your story is, it doesn't really matter. But the point is that if you have like things crying for attention right in front of you, it's going to be much easier for you if you apply it this way, to be like, oh, this thing that I'm doing that I'm getting frustrated that is not working out, if I just stop doing that and deal with this thing right in front of me, it's actually going to, first of all, possibly give you a creative insight into how to solve that problem. Second of all, it will honor the energies of what the universe wants for you right now, which is to connect in deeply with other people, connect in deeply with yourself in deep inner work and spiritual work, and to, really work on your relationships and improve them, and also to address certain things as it relates to other people's money or shared money. The topics of estate planning, of taxes, of credit, of debt, all of those things are very likely to come up in a strong way, for better or worse, and things actually have to be dealt with in those arenas, and this will be a great time for you to proactively do that. Now, one of the blessings of this time that hopefully can soften this period of time for us is that there is grand trine in water energy in the sky happening at this time. So even though this affects us in a kind of an awkward way that interferes with our flow and kind of bogs us down, puts water on our fire, if you will, the fact that there are so many planets in Pisces, there are so many planets in Scorpio, and there are also star goddess energies in Cancer, mean that the complete sacred geometrical form of the grand trine, the most favorable aspect of all of astrology, is happening in the water energies, gives us a chance to have more blessings from the fact that so much water is present. Okay, so we just know that rain's going to be all over the place. Like, these water emotions are going to be all over the place. You know that going in. Bring your umbrella to this month. I will tell you that for sure, and make it a big, strong one, okay? Because emotions are going to be flying all over the place. That you can get a lot of blessings from all of the water energies of your life, okay? So your home and family, your ancestry, your angelic guides, your connection with the divine, your deep, close relationships, support from other people financially, or you supporting them. All of these things are activated in the cosmos in a really big way. And although they are an awkward angle for us, it definitely, hopefully will increase the odds that this will be easier or smoother or have better outcomes because of this nice configuration that's occurring. Okay, so the next thing is that as the month goes on, the energies move from Scorpio to Sagittarius. And this is very favorable because, as you probably know, and if not, I will tell you now, planets moving through Sagittarius make that trine energy. Now, I talked about how the water planets were making trines with each other, but not making a trine with our placement, right? So it's like all this good stuff happening, and we're over here being like, okay, I got to work with this. But when the planets go into Sagittarius, that actually is in a trine for us. So teaching and learning and creative expression and creation of content that we help other people with, and long distance travel and adventures and spiritual development, all of these things want to happen for us. And it's going to start a little nice, renaissance period of returning back to this flow that we kind of saw in the summer or winter for you all down under, when the planets are in Leo. We also get to have this. So this is going to kind of bring that back. November into December, we get to have this golden period where things really start lighting up for us. We step out of all of the energy of that water and really just get to, have things flow in the way that we are more used to it, even despite the fact that Mars is in retrograde, if we honor to not push in the places where frustrations being created. So we really like those Sagittarius energies. And again, if you're a writer, you've got multiple energies here of writing or creating content or creating things that help other people. This exalted energy of taking some information and putting it into a usable form for yourself and other people. So that will be a great relief. If you feel bogged down in the beginning of November, just know that the relief is coming as the energies shift into this fellow fire sign energy. Now, the last thing we have to talk about is the eclipse. We are in this Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle. This started at the end of 2021. It goes to the end of 2023. All of the storylines are in effect the whole time, but we have these hot spots where they come bubbling out, and that's during every 6 months when the eclipses occur. So October and November are the eclipses. September through December is the season. October 25th, we have the solar eclipse and Scorpio at 2 degrees. You can hear more about that in the October report. Then we've got in November 8th, we've got the lunar eclipse at 16 degrees of Taurus. So again, as is usual, the sign of the eclipse is going to be the house of the eclipse for us. And so our earned income, our finances, our bling, anything, material items, things that we've wanted on a material level, material security, money consciousness, savings, our value, what we charge, what our offerings, our sustainability, environmentally and otherwise. All of those things have a new chance to have a wipe clean slate, basically, because this lunar eclipse can end something there where it's shifting this energy between my stuff and our stuff. And you might find that you go deeper into merging of finances with someone else, or you could end a way of doing certain things with your money and step into a new way of doing things. And most likely that might involve other people helping you. So if you're a super independent Aries, like most are, you find you've been doing things on your own, you might find that you get the support, and that part of this eclipse story is, you're starting to merge deeper into working with other people for your synergistic benefit. But either way, there are definitely changes that are coming. And since Uranus is conjunct that eclipse, which is at 16 degrees, the energy of surprises, sudden changes in finances, for better or worse, can happen. I mean, it definitely can happen that, if you're in scarcity, that could be eclipsed out and all of a sudden, boom, you're in abundance, or vice versa, or, any number of things in that arena. If you want to know more about how these eclipses might affect you, if you go to Annie Helps You TV, which is my YouTube homepage, or you can just go to my YouTube homepage, go to the eclipse playlist and search for eclipses in Taurus and eclipses in Scorpio. And that's going to give you a better insight into how these energies are going to play out for you, because that October eclipse is going to be very present all through November. So, the more you know about these things, the more you'll see the subtle and not so subtle ways that they are playing out. But this can definitely be life-changing, and you have been seeing these storylines at play for the last year, and they will continue going over the next year. Okay, so that's definitely happening. The last thing I want to talk about is with those planets moving through Sagittarius, we do have a new moon in Sag, and that is a fire new moon, so I definitely want to mention it. The same day that Jupiter goes direct, November 23rd, July is when it went retrograde, is going to be the new moon in Sagittarius. It's 1 degree, it's right at the beginning. So this is favorable for all Aries placements, but those of you who are like in that March, the first few days of March, especially most of the March born, but especially like 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, like around there, you're going to get an extra special kiss from that new moon, but everybody gets the goodies, and this can either seed plant for things for the future, or you might see the birth of some new things beginning at that time. Okay, so I've given you a lot of information to work with to help you make the most of the starry possibilities. If you would like more free goodies from me, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. That is the interface for all of the free goodies I make for you and all of my other offerings. And I also have blogs on that site, astrology blogs and more. You can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. This is a beautiful site if you haven't seen it yet. This is an astrology kissed nest where you can cozy in and learn about how astrology can help you in your daily experience, and also lots of tips for and spirit fuel for healthy living. If you want some free courses on unleashing your money magnet and wellness, you can go to lumelife.com, Lume life.com. At that same website, which is my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, you can find my very transformational programs, including my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. If you want to be a professional astrologer and earn money as an astrologer, I can teach you how to do that from ground level all the way up to the professional level. Or if you just like to learn for your own personal development and helping friends and family, I can also help you there. And I have other courses that you can see there at lumelife.com, L-U-M-E life.com. If you're looking for readings or personalized astrology education packages, you can go to anniebclarity.com and see the options there. If you would like to get exclusive content access, so more content from me, helping you to understand your natal chart, giving you more goodies on the current and upcoming astrological transits. If you want to understand many ways that you can make tough astrological transits easier, you can find all that at anniebcastrology.com. Now for my books. I have 3 books that are available and more on the way. You can find Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, on the shelf at all major booksellers in the Mind, Body, Spirit section. And that is a very beautiful hardcover, in-depth book. You can also get it online or at any indie bookstore. My other book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days. This is a non-denominational prayer and affirmation book. I've heard a lot of people carry it around in their bag with them and refer to it often. It's a beautiful book. You can find it through any major bookseller and online, also at indie stores. And my new release of my very first book, which is a spiritual novel called Tough Pill to Swallow. So it's a beautiful, supernatural, autobiographically inspired book. Tough Pill to Swallow is based on my experience working for Big Pharma decades ago, selling a drug that got recalled. And you'll see more about that in Tough Pill to Swallow, which you can also order online or order through any major bookseller or indie bookseller. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.